Like, come on, for real. You don't have to be an asshole about it. Welcome or welcome back. So I typically don't do videos like this, about transgender athletes, but I guess I'll put this one under, like social issues or something. But I wanted to talk about it because I came across this video. I got it in front of me now. You can probably see it in the reflection of my glasses. But it was a video posted on Fox News, of course, about a woman speaking out against transgender athletes, right? Now, all of this is coming off the heels of a transgender woman named, let me see, I got it, Lia Thomas, right? She's a swimmer at the University of Pennsylvania, and recently she's been breaking all these records and just doing really well and winning. And so, of course, people are angry. They're speaking out against their petition in the NCAA about their transgender policies. They want transgenders, women in particular, out of women's sports. I will say it's kind of a tough place for, the NCAA, because as an organization, right, you want to be inclusive and you want to be progressive, because I think every organization should, but then there's, you're going to get pushback from people who are traditional. You don't want to be excluding people who want to compete in sports, no matter what identity they belong to. But because it is sports and it's competitive, there's a biological factor to it. So it's like, what do you do? I don't know. For me, I don't know if I would really say it's a straightforward yes or no answer as to whether or not transgender people, whether it's male to female or female to male, should be allowed to compete in sports with, people who were biologically born the gender that they are, the sex that they are. Because it's things that you have to consider. What is the sport? How far along is that person in their hormone therapy? Is it complete? To what extent does a hormone therapy, reduce their estrogen or testosterone levels? Does it make them, competitively similar to, someone who was born that biological sex? So I don't know. I think it's a lot of stuff that you have to explore before you can just make an opinion of saying yes or no. But in any case, getting into the video, right? So it is a video that was posted on Fox, right? I don't even know the anchor's name. I'm not familiar with them because I don't watch Fox. I don't even watch CNN, really. But right off the bat, this guy is very biased. Throughout the whole video, he keeps saying him, his, him, his. He never acknowledges that it's a transgender woman, never uses female pronouns, she, hers. And it was intentional, he was trying to slight her intentionally. And even his first question right out the gate was extremely biased. I'll insert it here so you can, hear it.
Would you tell all of us watching right now, what is it like to go into a competition against a transgender athlete when you know the outcome ahead of time?
So as you can see, his question was extremely biased. And my thing is this: if you're going to enter into a conversation completely biased, then what's the point? You're not going to change on what you feel. You're not going to change the other side on what they feel. You're not having a productive and constructive conversation. It's pointless to me. That level of bias into a conversation it's absolutely pointless to me. Like, what do you hope to accomplish? As for the young lady herself in the video, I don't know. I think she didn't come off as, disrespectful, derogatory, or offensive to me. I think she was just, sincerely stating her opinion and her experience. So I don't really have too much for her. Of course, the position she occupies on it is a position she occupies. She does not think that transgender women should be allowed in sports with biological women. That's her opinion, right? But there's a way to express your opinion without being she's biased too, but I mean, it's different from her to him, this anchor, this guy here, because if you ask, he's an asshole. Like, come on, for real. You don't have to be an asshole about it. But moving right along. So my first question is, throughout the video, she keeps mentioning how she's lost. I think she said she lost 5 times to a person that was transgender. Would we be having this conversation if she didn't lose? Right? If the transgender, person that she competed against placed in second, third, fourth, or whatever, would we be having this conversation?
Huh? Let's talk about that.
So it does smell like a little bit of sore losery to me, And it's like, for the transgender athletes, anytime they win or even come in second, it's automatically going to be attributed to their biological sex, right? Rather than their own personal merit or athleticism, which I don't think is fair. Did that person beat you because they were transgender? Did they beat you because they were biologically male? Or did they just beat you because they were simply the better athlete and competitor in this particular competition? Because I'm pretty sure, you have transgender athletes, they don't place first in everything that they do. They lose just like everyone else loses. You know what I mean? So again, is it really because of their biological makeup, or were they simply just a better competitor than you? Now, I did look at the comments for a brief second, but not too much, because the comment section of a Fox News video is not a place you want to be. That is a place you go to lose brain cells, to effectively lower your IQ level.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
So I just basically looked at the top comment and then people that have replied to the top comment. And the top comment is something to the effect that transgender people should have their own league. And it's like,
are you dumb?
Now let's think about that. Let's think that through. First of all, there's not enough transgender people to form a league. You have to assume that even all of those transgender people want to play the same sport. And I'm pretty sure they play different sports just like everyone else. So that's just logistically, it's not possible to do that. But really it comes down to what is the solution, I guess. Is it to revise some of the policies and rules that govern transgender athletes? I don't know. And it's interesting to see how the NCAA, took me so long to say NCAA because I kept wanting to say NAACP, handles this going forward. Because again, you want to remain inclusive and progressive, and you don't necessarily want to fold to people's pressure just because they don't like something. And if they're saying it's unfair, then I guess, it's on you to evaluate the fairness of it and to make that determination. And I guess if people don't like it, they can either choose not to compete then, but the rules are the rules. And again, I guess they'll fight to change the rules, but until then, the rules are what you have, and it's what you have to go by. And as long as the transgender people are meeting the requirements and adhering to the rules, then it's not a problem as it is, as the rules are. And the main point of what they're saying is, it's unfair, the playing field is unlevel, it's not fair, which is so hilarious coming from a conservative, because usually when you tell a conservative something's not fair or that you're just like naturally at a disadvantage, they tell you to suck it up and pull yourself up by your bootstrap or something like that. So it's very interesting to see, how they feel when they feel that they are being the one in the wrong, being the one wronged, or, the one at a disadvantage. So it's very interesting. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What are your opinions about it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Oh, and lastly, this anchor guy here, he goes, he goes on to say, oh, this is the end of women's sports.
By the way, it's the end of women's sports.
So dramatic.
Give me a damn break.
And it's just fear-mongering, okay? Transgender women that compete in women's sports are the minority. They will probably remain the minority for the foreseeable future. They're not trying to take over. It's just a fear-mongering tactic that conservative news stations and really all media news stations like to use. That's why I don't even watch it, because it's so useless and pointless. It's biased. They use all these dog whistle terms to stir up their base, and then they fear-monger. That's all they do. Anyway, complete waste of everybody's time. Anyways, that's that on that. It's a wrap for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and before I go, let me just get into one of the many ignorant comments I've seen. So this one person in a comment goes on to say, oh yeah, this person is just, they're transgender because they suck at competing against males. So they transition their gender so they compete against women and have an advantage. You really think someone would go through the trouble of transitioning their gender, hormone therapy and everything, just so they can have a competitive advantage in sports? Then, by the way, that might not even lead to a professional sports career, just high school, okay, and college sports team. Really? You think someone would go through all that just to be able to win a game?
Are you dumb?
Whew. These people are special. These people are special. I'm out.